Aesthetic. What is it? What's mine? These are some things that someone may ask when finding their own aesthetic. These questions are valid, so that's why I'm here to answer. This is Kassem with the Blueprint News Network with a crash course on aesthetic. Aesthetic, in the simplest terms, is the way things look and how appealing they are. We can talk about housing, or clothing, or art, or music, or... you get the point. Aesthetics are around us whether we think about it or not. That lamp that you bought at IKEA has an aesthetic. The clothes you have in your closet have an aesthetic. Or even that pancake, in the wackiest forms, has an aesthetic. There are really no rules to an aesthetic, and disclaimer, I don't know all of them, but to name a few, there are color customizer, cottagecore, dark academia, vaporwave, grunge, minimalist, and so much more. The punk alt-grunge vaporwave look has been around since the 80s, with bands like Nirvana, Metallica, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Queen, and so much more. We talked to junior Karina Carling about this and how she defines it, as well as her outlook on how aesthetics mold her.
My aesthetic surrounds aspects of scene stuff from like early 2000s, as well as like 90s grunge and other just like comfortable punk.
Carling continues to talk about how she pushes her boundaries of aesthetic to different parts of her life.
I think that my fashion is honestly really influenced by the way that I kind of live my life, and I think that, that's sort of the way to go, is like basing how you present yourself off of your favorite things to do. So I think I really like dressing like a lot of music, like fandom groups almost, because I really like music, I really like playing music, and I have like posters, and like I'm kind of a maximalist with my room, and I just kind of have posters and items and things everywhere, and so I try to, display that the same way with my clothing, with lots of layering and different patterns and everything.
Aesthetics don't usually complete us, and junior Faith Nelson talks about expressing herself without being in an aesthetic box.
See, my aesthetic is what I like to call a hot mess. I've tried to have an aesthetic because I love the idea of an aesthetic, but I simply cannot make up my mind. Typically, I feel pretty cool. I think I look good when I find the good aesthetic. Sometimes it's weird in public when like I'm wearing something that like the people around me aren't. I feel like sometimes I get stuck in like this bubble where I'm like, oh, everyone dresses like this. I'm so basic. But then I go out in public and I'm like, where are the mom jeans? Where are the Doc Martens? I feel a little lost right now. So it's kind of funny the way that works.
These types of styles don't have to define us, and they of course can't stay in their own boxes, just like Faith Nelson. I know personally I love a retro look, but then modern mixed with cottagecore and to add a little bit of spice with any other I can find. Now try some fun stuff and get crazy. This has been Kassem with the Blueprint News Network.